Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Shooter, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the book Stakes is High, Life After American Dream by Mychal Denzel Smith. This book was published by Bold Type Press, and this book actually comes out on September 15th. So if you're interested in this book, you can pick it up then. It'll be in stores then. So I read this book, and I gotta say that I like this so much that I am actually going to be doing a giveaway of this book in partnership with Bold Type Books. So if you listen to this review and you really like this book and you want a chance to get it for free, I'll be putting out a video probably by Monday letting you know the details of the giveaway and what you can do in order to enter that. But my review of this book, basically, this was a very intriguing book for me. I read this in one night. It's not that long of a book. I read it in about 3.5 hours, and I gotta say, I was very drawn into the arguments made in this book. And basically, the author looks at takes an introspective, critical look at what life is like in the United States and our whole outlook here in the United States about who we are and what we do. And so in this book, he tackles the fact that there's a lot of myth making that we do here in the United States, and that myth making not necessarily isn't bad from a point of like a nation, but it becomes bad when it becomes history, and people then use that history to justify things that aren't right. And so when, for example, the myth is that America was always great and we were great in the past, you tend to miss out on all the injustices and things that were done to people along the way. And so if you believe in that myth, you don't want to confront the fact that there were some things you may have done wrong in the past, and here's how we can possibly change them here and now. And that is where the harm is done and is harming a lot of people. A lot of people who are chasing after the American dream or want their piece of it are not even able to accomplish that because the odds are stacked against them and have been stacked against them for most of the history of this country. It took until 1968 for African Americans to get the right to vote, like for real anyway, because they were supposed to have gotten that after the Civil War. So looking at the fact that he himself begins the book with himself coming to terms with Trump's election, but also coming to terms with the knowledge that that was just a natural outcome of the way American history has been going so far, and how America has basically worked in reality, and as opposed to the myth. He also talks about the justice system and how a lot of the criminalization that happens to minorities and to the poor. How that we definitely need to think about changing that. He talks about prisons, the police, how we should change our thinking towards those two, so that they're rather geared towards justice than just criminalization, and there is no reform at all for the people who are criminalized, or no chance for them after they have served their time. Talking about accountability, and especially in terms of men having being accountable for our actions when it comes to how we treat others, especially when in terms of sexual assault, and the fact that we have this binary that there's good and bad, and so that keeps us from, when we hear about someone who's done a sexual assault. For example, his example is Bill Cosby. A lot of people refuse to believe that because they believe in the myth that was Bill Cosby, or Bill Huxtable on the Cosby Show. So that when it was said that he did this, they was like, no, that doesn't really match up with what I know Bill Cosby to be. But we were looking at the myth of Bill Cosby because while he's projecting that idea of what he was, or what he wanted us to see, he was doing all that horrible stuff in the background. And that accountability first, we have to break through the myth that everyone is necessarily good, or that good people can't do bad things. We have to realize that there's not just this binary of this person's good, this person's bad, and the bad people we can just take and throw away, but that we're all capable of doing things that are wrong, and we have to realize that. And that justice, accountability, and confronting the delusions and the myth making that we make, we have to, in order to do that, that's the only way we can really have true freedom in this country and become better people in how we treat others as a community, not as individuals, but as a community. So this is very, like I said, a very good book for me. I didn't necessarily, not everything I believe is lockstep in with what he presents in this book, But I like things that challenge my beliefs or where I stand at on things like that, because it forces me to think outside the box or outside my normal box. So I like that in a book. I think that this is a very good book and makes some very good points about where we are in this country and where possible we need to be in order to critically think and put in place stuff to actually help others in this country, not as individuals, but as community. So we get together as a community and help each other. So if I had to give this book a star rating, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Like I said, once I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. I just read straight through, looked up. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, wow. So, like I said, I really enjoyed this book. I will be doing, like I said, a giveaway for this book. So if you're interested in this book and you want a chance to get a free copy of it, I will have that video out with the details sometime by Monday at least. I have some things coming up over the weekend, but I should have it out by Monday. If not, if like everything works out, maybe even Sunday. So keep an eye out for that video as well. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28, on Instagram at Justin the Ghost Reader, and also on Goodreads. The link to that is down in the description box below. So as always, keep reading, and Black Lives Matter.